my last video, I talked about Camp 2 sellers, people who are relocating and haven't figured out where they're going yet. That's me. And I was honest about how overwhelming it is. But today I want to follow up because I want to talk to the other group of sellers, the ones who have already figured it out. Kudos to you. You have found your next place that you're moving to. You've bought it, you're under contract, you're getting ready to know what that address is. You know exactly where you're going. Now you're standing in your current home and you're thinking, okay, I need to sell this thing. Where do I even start? That's the biggest hurdle when you've purchased and don't know what to do next. Hi, I'm Kristen Borstrand. I'm with eXp Realty, and I specialize in helping sellers and buyers navigate complex markets in Northern Virginia and soon to be Richmond, Virginia, as they're going through a transition like downsizing, maybe even upsizing or relocating. My sweet spot is really helping sellers uncover their home's potential for their neighborhood, getting it prepared for the buyers who are looking for that home, and then getting it sold. So today in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what I recommend and why moving out and staging your home before it hits the market is one of the smartest financial moves you can make as a relocating seller, and why it attracts those high qualified buyers and gets you top dollar in the end. So first, I want to do a quick recap if you're just finding me. When you're relocating and selling your home, you fall into one of two camps. Camp 2, which is what I just talked about, is you're still trying to figure out where you're going. You know you're going somewhere, but where is it? I covered that in the last video, so go look for that if that is you. And I, again, am actually going through this now. Camp 1, that's you if you found me here. You've made that next move decision. You bought the new place, you signed a new lease, but you have a firm destination locked in. Your address exists. You just need to close on the chapter you're living in now. And here's what makes your situation generally different from a typical home sale. You're not moving when the home sells. You're moving on your timeline, which could mean that, but it actually means you have something that most sellers don't have. You have the ability to get out of the house before it even goes on the market, and that is strategic. This is an advantage most sellers don't even consider or can't because of the financial impact, which I totally get, but you're sitting in a sweet spot. So let's talk about what usually happens. The seller thinks, I'll keep living here until it sells. I'll be fine. I'll keep it clean. I'll make the bed every morning. I'll wipe down the counters. I'll take the dog with me when we have showings. What actually happens? Life. The house never photographs the way it should because it's your own personal items, right? Your furniture maybe doesn't work for the buyers. Maybe you've got a little bit more clutter than you would have liked, and you don't really notice it, but other people do, and it shows up in those photos. And in 2026, your listing photos are your first showing. 100% of buyers start their home search online. You don't get a second chance at that first impression. And then once the showings start, after the photos and all of that, they're usually inconvenient. Sometimes you don't get enough notice and the house isn't quite ready for the buyers to walk through because your life is still visibly happening in every room they're walking through. And buyers, even the most savvy buyers, have a hard time seeing themselves in a home when someone else is clearly still living there. They have a hard time getting over your personal things. And it's not really their fault. It's just how they work. They're trying to picture their life in your space, but your stuff makes it harder to do that. So here's what I tell every Camp 1 seller that I work with. If you can move out before we list or be mostly moved out, do it. We do all the refreshes, all the updates, all the cleaning, and then we stage it. I know it sounds like more work, but it's not. It's actually less in the long run, and here's why. When the home is vacant and professionally staged, everything changes for the visuals of your home. The photos are clean and aspirational. The showings are flexible. No coordinating around your schedule, no pets, no kids, no dishes in the sink. Buyers can walk through at their own pace and actually imagine their life there. And the numbers actually back this up completely. Staged homes sell 88% faster than unstaged homes. Why? Because it's not your stuff. The furniture fits the place. It's usually a bright, modern style type of, staging furniture, and buyers love this. How do I know? I've had buyers ask if they can buy the furniture in the home that I'm listing. On average, sellers, get about 9-10% over the asking price. And according to the National Association of Realtors, they spend less time on the market because they're getting people's attention. The average staged investment is only about 1 to 3% of your asking price, and homes consistently sell for 5 to 10% more than comparable unstaged properties. So, on a $600,000 home, that's potentially $30,000 to $60,000 more on a $4,000 to $5,000, $6,000 investment. That math is hard to ignore. And that's not just decorating. That's a financial strategy. For a vacant home specifically, staging matters even more in certain neighborhoods at certain price points. An empty room can actually look smaller than a furnished one. Buyers can't judge the scale without the furniture. They can't feel the warmth without texture and light. A staged vacant home gives them both. The top real estate agents, myself included, say vacant homes benefit the most from staging more than any other type of listing. Let me make this practical for you because I think people hear staging and they picture something complicated or very expensive. Here's the actual process. Step 1, you move your personal belongings out. If you have to store things in the garage or basement, that's fine. And this happens naturally because you're relocating anyways. You're not really storing your stuff except for in key places. You're already moving into your next place. That's your advantage. Step 2, before we stage it, we do a targeted walkthrough. Not every repair or refresh is worth it. Not every update matters to buyers. My job is to identify the ones that will, do those things that actually move the needle on price and speed, and skip those that don't. This is where sellers waste the most money when they don't have the guidance and they don't understand the buyer psychology of where they're living and what their buyer's looking for. Next, we professionally stage it. We're going to furnish those key rooms: living room, primary bedroom, kitchen, dining room. Those rooms drive the majority of buyer emotional response. Everything else can be minimal or empty. And step 4, I'm going to do my beautiful photography. In a staged vacant home, the photos are almost always more exceptional. No personal items, perfect light, clean lines. This is what gets buyers in the door. They're excited. And the last step, we strategically price your home and we have flexible showing options for them. That combination creates competition and drives offers above asking. The goal is to sell it in the first month or even the first few weeks, and staged homes do that. The average days on market for a staged property is anywhere from 7 to 19 days. And that's not an accident. That's what good preparation and presentation produces. So when you're weighing whether staging is worth it, the real question isn't, does staging cost money? It's, what does it cost for me to not stage and have it sit on the market for 60 or 90 days? Because every month on the market is another mortgage payment, carrying costs, possibly price reductions because we're not in front of the right buyer. We want more leverage and more buyers to negotiate on your property. When you're already paying a mortgage on your new place, that math gets uncomfortable fast. So before I let you go, everything I just described here works exactly the same whether you're moving down the road to another city or an entirely different state. And here's the thing I want you to know about working with me. I manage everything for you. So if you are an out-of-town person, out-of-state person because you've already relocated, I've got you covered. For my clients moving out of Northern Virginia, whether they're heading to, another city here like me, I'm going down to Richmond, or they're moving to Florida or the Carolinas or Texas, this is always the move I recommend. Get out, stage it, price it right, and then let the house, your beautiful house, do its job. You've already made the hard decision. Now let's make sure the sale reflects the investment you've put into your home and you get it out on the other side. So if you're a Camp One seller and you're trying to figure out where to start, this is exactly what I do for you. I work with sellers in Northern Virginia and Fairfax County who are ready to move, have their next place, but don't know what to tackle in the house they're already living in. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure out what's worth doing, what isn't, get the house staged and ready, and get it sold on your timeline. If this video helped you, subscribe, hit a like button, pass it on. I'm making videos like this every week, and if you're looking for your next home and need to sell the one you're in, drop a comment below about what stresses you out right now. I'd be curious to read how sellers are navigating this and possibly how I can help. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. I'd be curious to read how sellers are navigating this and possibly how I can help. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.